As we all know, video games have been around since the dawn of time, starting with a little game called Pong. Then around the late 70s, arcade cabinets were placed in malls and pizza places all around. Kids would flock to play games like Pac-Man, Galaga, and of course, Space Invaders. You wouldn't see too many adults in arcades because either they were A, dropping off their kids, or B, nerdy, and it was kind of frowned upon. There's plenty of exceptions for this, like, I don't know, when my dad would play Mario Kart with me till like 2 in the morning, or playing NFL Blitz for hours on end and struggling and trying to win. Though I doubt that he would have ever played those games if I hadn't been around. But there was that one time he beat 1080 completely by himself without me when I was at school. And for the longest time I agreed. Video games were for kids and nerds. And yeah, I was a kid and a nerd. But then a little game called Mortal Kombat came out. That changed my little kid goddamn brain forever. Of course, I had strict parents, so I didn't really get to play it, but when I went over to my friend's house and they had it, my mind was blown. Now, as graphic as that game was and bloody and gory, it still was, there wasn't really a narrative, and it really didn't necessarily appeal. You just kind of fought in this tournament, and that was about it. You moved on. Now, I'm not saying adults couldn't really necessarily have fun or be entertained by these games. They were just really marketed towards kids, and I feel like they still are.
Resident Evil.
Resident Evil and Metal Gear Solid came out, and everything started to shift. Then fast forward to adults waiting in line for games like Halo, Grand Theft Auto, and I could see the acceptance clear in sight. And in my opinion, I think it all started to shift when games started getting voice actors and graphics started getting a lot better. When games started to get cutscenes and look like movies, that's when shit got real. And I don't mean just voice acting or motion capturing or music or graphics or the story, but I mean all of those combined. That's what really got it going. I feel like people tend to forget that video games these days, especially the big ones, have directors and scripts and actors. Not that different from, I don't know, a movie. And it turns out a lot of the games that I've played, especially nowadays, are better than most of the garbage movies that come out today. Games like Metal Gear, The Last of Us, and Uncharted all have characters that we want to see succeed, and we play them. I guess I'm just trying to say that video games are for adults, kids, elderly, shit, even for little baby heads. Like, everyone has them. I've seen babies with iPads playing some stupid games, which I think is kind of weird. But when it comes down to it, video games are just like any other form of entertainment. They're for everybody, and I think everyone should give them a chance. Try playing the first 20 minutes of The Last of Us and see if you don't have an emotional connection. If you don't, you're practically a monster. Or an asshole.
I don't know what's happening to me. I'm getting all the blame for things I didn't do.
Then fast forward to adults waiting in line for games like